Okay, so let's unpack this. For years, we've all heard that phrase, food is medicine.
Right.
And often what that really translates to is eating something green and a little bitter that you don't actually enjoy.
Exactly. It feels like a chore.
Today, we're turning that whole concept on its head. We're doing a
Yeah.
deep dive into something genuinely comforting, aromatic, and, well, deeply satisfying. The Wild Rice and Mushroom Pilaf.
Mmm.
We're using a stack of source material that describes this dish not just as a recipe, but as a surprisingly efficient shortcut to powerful anti-inflammatory nourishment.
And that framing is so important because what we're really trying to do is elevate simple cooking. Our mission today is to move beyond just general advice. We want to unpack the specific scientific health claims here. Why exactly is this particular combination of ancient grain and fungi labeled a wellness powerhouse?
Yeah, what's happening at the molecular level?
We need to see how the compounds in the wild rice and the mushrooms specifically interact to support immunity, optimize gut health, and maybe even facilitate cellular repair.
I love that we're focusing on efficiency. Because let's be honest, you were busy. We're all looking for simple, flavorful ways to boost nourishment
Without going to culinary school.
Exactly. This pilaf promises that complex, earthy flavor and nutrient density. It proves that deep nourishment doesn't have to mean sacrificing comfort.
Absolutely not. It's a low-effort, high-return formula. We're basically identifying an ingredient combination that is designed by nature to deliver these micronutrients with maximum effect.
Built right into a dish you'd actually want to eat.
That's the key.
So let's start with the foundation of the dish. The wild rice itself. Our sources make a pretty powerful claim right out of the gate.
They do.
They suggest it contains one of the highest antioxidant levels among all whole grains. I mean, that's a huge claim when you think about the competition.
It is, and it's substantiated by its unique composition. See, wild rice it's not actually a rice at all.
Right, it's a grass seed.
It's the seed of an aquatic grass, and its hull is just loaded with polyphenols and flavonoids. That's what gives it that deep color and its protective ability.
But practically speaking, what does highest antioxidant levels really mean for the person eating it? Is this about longevity, or is it more immediate?
It's both. High antioxidant content means a powerful defense against oxidative stress. Every day, our cells are damaged by free radicals.
Pollution, stress, just...
Exactly, from normal metabolism. Antioxidants neutralize them. So this is directly tied to cellular integrity, reduced aging factors, and crucially, a reduction in chronic low-grade inflammation.
Which is the root of so many issues.
The root of so many modern diseases. This is an ingredient that is actively protecting your cells at a molecular level.
Okay, that's the microscopic benefit. But let's talk about something we feel every single day. Digestive health. You mentioned its fiber, which is key for regularity, but what else is happening in the gut?
Well, it's all about the type of fiber. Wild rice is packed with both insoluble and soluble fiber. The insoluble kind acts like a brush, it promotes regularity, essential stuff. But the soluble fiber is the food source.
For the good bacteria.
Precisely. It's a prebiotic. So as it breaks down slowly, it feeds the beneficial gut bacteria, setting up this healthy, balanced microbiome.
And crucially, that slow breakdown affects our energy, too. I hear people say they avoid grains to escape that afternoon slump.
That's a great point. And that slump usually comes from refined, simple carbs. Wild rice is the opposite.
Because of the fiber.
Because of that exceptional fiber structure, it has a lower glycemic load. So when you eat it, glucose enters your bloodstream slowly and steadily. You avoid those sharp insulin spikes and the crashes that follow.
So you get balanced, sustained energy for hours.
Which is a huge factor for concentration and even mood stabilization.
And while we're on plant-based options, how does it stack up on the protein front? Say, compared to brown rice or farro?
It holds its own very, very well. Wild rice offers significantly more protein than most other whole grains. We're talking up to 6 grams per cooked cup.
Which is pretty high for a grain base.
It is, and that protein is essential for muscle maintenance, but it also works with the fiber to increase satiety. It keeps you feeling full and satisfied much longer than a refined starch would.
Okay, before we move on, we have to talk about cardiovascular health. What are the heavy hitters in this grain that are supporting the heart?
We're looking primarily at a powerful trio. Magnesium, zinc, and a spectrum of B vitamins.
Magnesium is a big one.
It's crucial for thousands of reactions in the body, including muscle function, and the heart is a muscle. It helps maintain normal blood pressure. Then the B vitamins, like folate and B6, are critical for efficient energy metabolism.
So you've got this whole package supporting heart health and metabolic efficiency.
A comprehensive package,
Okay,
yes.
so we have this powerfully protective, energy-sustaining base. Now let's shift to the second star of the show, the immune-boosting magic of the mushrooms.
Right.
Whether the recipe calls for cremini, shiitake, or portobello. What are their specific immune properties that the sources really highlight?
This is where we get into the really unique compounds that only fungi offer. The key ingredient here is beta-glucans.
Beta-glucans.
They're complex carbohydrates in the mushroom cell walls. When you eat them, your body's immune cells recognize them, and it essentially puts your immune system on high alert. It primes it.
So they don't fight an infection directly. It's more like they're training the immune system.
Precisely. Think of them as a benign drill sergeant. They strengthen the immune response without causing inflammation, so your body's ready to go when a real threat shows up.
Wow. That's a level of support you don't get from just vitamins.
Not usually, no.
Now, let's talk about the thing that always makes me pause. Vitamin D. We think of sunlight or fortified milk, but mushrooms can be a source.
They can be.
So here's the question I think you're wondering about. Is it fair to assume the mushrooms I buy in the grocery store, which are usually grown in the dark, actually have useful levels of vitamin D?
That is a fantastic question, and it is a necessary caveat. Mushrooms do not produce vitamin D in the dark. They have to be exposed to UV light. Just like our skin, they use it to convert a compound they have ergosterol into vitamin D2.
So if I buy standard white buttons, I'm probably getting 0, unless the label says they were UV treated.
That's correct. But the good news is that many commercial farms now do briefly expose their mushrooms to UV light for this exact reason.
Oh, that's interesting.
And for the home cook, you can actually boost their vitamin D content yourself. Just spread them gill side up on a tray in direct sunlight for about 15 to 30 minutes before you cook them.
That's incredible. What a great tip.
A very high-value piece of knowledge for immunity and mood.
Okay, moving back to inflammation. We talked about antioxidants in the rice. Mushrooms bring their own arsenal.
They bring a highly specialized compound called ergothione, along with selenium. Ergothione is often called the master antioxidant.
What makes it so special?
Its stability and its ability to get inside the cell's mitochondria, the powerhouses, where so much oxidative damage begins.
So it's not just fighting inflammation generally, it's protecting the core engine of the cell.
Exactly. When you combine the polyphenols from the wild rice, which are working on the outside of the cell, with the ergothionine from the mushrooms working deep inside, you get this comprehensive, layered defense.
A very sophisticated anti-inflammatory partnership.
That's a great way to put it.
So let's synthesize this. Let's connect the mushrooms back to the gut, linking them to the fiber we talked about in the wild rice.
And that synthesis is really the powerhouse aspect. The wild rice provides the structural fiber, but the mushrooms provide these high-quality prebiotic fibers, those beta-glucans.
Ah, so they feed different things.
They feed the beneficial bacteria very specifically. A happy, well-fed microbiome supports digestion, local immunity in the gut, and, critically, the gut-brain axis.
The gut-brain axis, that crucial communication line.
Yes. A healthy gut produces neurotransmitters, it influences mood, it reduces systemic inflammation that can impact cognitive function. This pilaf directly feeds that connection.
Which brings us perfectly to the core question. Why does this specific combination create a wellness powerhouse instead of just being 2 healthy ingredients on a plate?
It's because the preparation and the combination maximizes the bioavailability of these compounds.
Okay.
I mean, if we look at the 4 key points from the source, we see it clearly. First, balanced nutrients. When you combine the grain, the fungi, and then add things like herbs and broth, you get a complete nutrient profile. Fiber, minerals, antioxidants, amino acids, all in one.
And the second point addresses something everyone wants. Better mood and sustained energy.
Correct. The magnesium and B vitamins from the rice, with the complex carbs and potential vitamin D from the mushrooms, they work together to support steady glucose and emotional balance.
Third, it's a total slam dunk for the gut.
Absolutely. The combined force of the prebiotic fibers from the mushrooms and the high fiber from the rice makes it exceptional for total microbiome support. You're feeding the bacteria that fight inflammation.
And finally, a very practical benefit for anyone navigating food sensitivities.
It's naturally gluten-free. It gives you that satisfying texture and nutrient profile of a substantial grain dish without any of the gluten.
Now, we need to make sure you know this isn't some complicated multi-day recipe.
Yeah.
The sources lay out a very straightforward structure. How does this actually look in a home kitchen?
It is incredibly achievable. It's essentially a simple three-part process. Simmer, saute, combine.
I get that.
The core ingredients are accessible. 1 cup of wild rice, 2.5 cups of good quality broth, an onion, garlic, 2 cups of sliced mushrooms, and some flavor agents like thyme and a bay leaf.
And what about the actual technique? Where does the flavor develop?
So the steps are simple, but the technique is important. You simmer the wild rice for about 40 to 45 minutes until the kernels burst open. While that's happening, you saute your aromatics, the onion and garlic,
Building the base.
building that flavor base. Then you add the sliced mushrooms.
And this mushroom step is crucial, right? You can't just dump them in.
No, you must give them time. You cook them for about 6 to 8 minutes. The key here is patience. You let them release all their moisture, wait for it to evaporate, and only then do you let them start browning.
Ah, the Maillard reaction.
That's it. That process concentrates their umami flavor and depth. It's essential for making the pilaf taste robust and complex.
So that patience unlocks their true savory nature.
Exactly. Once the rice is cooked, you just fold it into that deeply flavored mushroom mix, let everything sit for a few minutes off the heat, and then serve. It's about building flavor layers efficiently.
I also noticed the source notes emphasize flexibility with optional additions. How can we use those to shift the flavor?
Those are key for variety. Freshly chopped parsley adds brightness. For a richer fall or winter feel, stir in toasted pecans for crunch, or a handful of dried cranberries for that perfect tart sweetness.
Which makes the dish really adaptable.
For holidays, meal prep, any weeknight dinner.
Which leads us to its versatility. I mean,
Yeah.
it's too nutritious to be just a side dish all the time.
And it doesn't have to be. It's a beautiful side for roasted poultry or salmon for sure. But to make it a plant-forward main, you could just top it with some sautéed leafy greens, maybe a fried egg.
Oh, that sounds good. Or even a dollop of Greek yogurt.
Absolutely. And for meal prepping lunches, I imagine it holds up really well.
Perfectly. It works wonderfully as a base for a warm grain bowl. You can mix it into a hearty salad with roasted butternut squash, some feta, and a light vinaigrette. It's a truly flexible, foundational platform.
So to summarize our deep dive, the wild rice and mushroom pilaf really does bridge that gap between satisfying comfort food and profound nutritional benefits. By proactively choosing ingredients high in these specific functional compounds, fiber, beta-glucans, ergothioneine, it becomes an easy, versatile, and profoundly flavorful addition for anyone looking to seamlessly incorporate anti-inflammatory foods into their routine.
And here is the final provocative thought we want to leave you with. Don't just chase exotic, expensive superfoods. Consider how radically optimizing your most foundational, accessible staples, the grains, the simple vegetables of your pantry, can upgrade your entire diet with minimal effort and maximum return. You now know exactly how common kitchen ingredients deliver powerful compounds like ergothioneine and beta-glucans. The key to more resilient health might not be in a supplement bottle, but simply in how you choose and combine the ingredients already within your reach.